So, see, like I mentioned earlier, I love reading, and I think young people need to start reading. Uh, we are lagging behind, both in reading and writing. We do more of writing fiction books. But I think what we need actually is to write more non-fiction books, like all these things we just talked about. We need people to dig into these things and write about them, rather than just writing one romance novel that would teach people the same things that we have been taught, that didn't allow us to do that kind of evaluation of our relationships. So I love reading. So I want you to recommend 5 books to my audience.
Oh, okay. Uh, the first book I would recommend
Mm.
is by Chinua Achebe,
Okay.
and
Which
it
one?
is called There Was a Country.
What? Which one?
There Was a Country.
See, that's one of his books that I never read. Okay, I
Ah, you
read
have to.
Things Fall Apart and the
I think,
sequel, but
why it's important is that you see Achebe's book lends a personal reflection,
yes.
you know, with a historical account of Nigeria's independence
Mm.
and the Biafran War.
Yeah.
The book talks about critical thinking, patriotism,
Mm.
and the cost of bad leadership.
Mm.
And for young Nigerians, I think it's important because it puts them in the space where they start to understand a little bit about national identity. Um, it shows them what happens when there's leadership failure and the cost of division and war, and how it impacts families and
Yeah.
individuals, and how into our history it can become a recurring decimal.
Mm.
So I think that's one of the books that's very important that young
Very
Nigerians.
good. Very good.
Yeah.
In fact, I think I need to read that book.
The other book, I think everybody talks about this book, and I'm sure you've read it. It's called The Seven Habits of Highly Effective People.
Of
Stephen
course,
Covey.
Stephen Covey. Of
Yeah,
course,
yeah.
I have the
Okay.
book, and I bought the teenage version for my
Yeah,
daughters.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what can we say
Start from
about
the
that book? Yeah, he
first
talks
things
about
first.
leadership, talks
Yeah.
about discipline,
Yeah.
he talks about values.
Yeah.
You know? And these are the qualities that we want young Nigerians to have
Yes.
so they can thrive no matter what happens.
Yeah.
It will teach them about responsibility, vision, integrity,
Yeah.
uh, and possible and purposeful living. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then Shoyinka,
Okay. Which one?
you must set forth at dawn.
My God, I've never read that too.
Shoyinka, yes, you must set forth at dawn.
Maybe I read
Wole
about
Shoyinka.
5, 6 of
Yeah,
Wole
yeah.
Shinka. Mm.
That particular book is actually is deeply intellectual, but it's an emotional journey through his
Mm.
life, his activism, and why he's committed to justice. Yeah. Again, it talks about Nigeria's um, situation post-independence.
Yeah.
All those things that we went through, the first set of politicians. It was
Yeah.
around that time of, he wrote also the man died, that kind
Yes,
of,
I've read that.
yeah. So it talks about courage, and the ability to stand up against what is wrong.
Mm.
Okay. Having
Okay.
a moral conviction
Yeah.
to believe
What's the title again?
you must set forth. at dawn.
Okay. You must set forth at dawn. Okay.
Yeah. Then the fourth book will be yeah. You put me in it will be The History of Nigeria by Toyin Falola.
Okay. Hmm. Okay. Toye Falola, The
Falola,
History
yes.
of Nigeria. Okay.
Yeah, The History of Nigeria,
Okay.
which will help young Nigerians to understand their history,
Yeah.
their roots, the diversity, and the political evolution of Nigeria.
Okay.
Uh, looking at the political structure, ethnic and regional dynamics, and the colonial legacy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the last book is I Am Because We Are,
Okay. By who?
African Wisdom in Dialogue with the
Mm.
West
Mm.
by
Mm. Mm.
Chidi E. Asika Enaoro.
Okay. Okay. Nice.
This
Mm.
book explores the Ubuntu philosophy,
Yeah.
yeah, where we need to start getting our young people to think beyond Western definitions of success and
Mm.
start to look at their lives and root their lives in community, in purpose and dignity.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about moral leadership,
Okay.
the African identity.
Okay.
And the reason I chose these five books is really because they all have a central theme about, you know, who are we? What am I? What should I be? And what will I become?
Mm. Mm. That's good. You see, I love these books, but again, I will still say this. We three of these are non-fiction,
Yeah.
but I still want us to write like the last one, right? It's something so powerful that I think we need to write more on those things.